If you're number one, it can really pay off for you. Hello and welcome to Rockin Reviews. I'm your host, John. This week we will be looking at the Beatles compilation album, One. This album was released in 2000 and features virtually all of the Beatles' number one hits in both the US and the UK. My quickie review of this is that this is a solid first introduction to the Beatles. I mean, this was my first introduction to the Beatles, and it has a lot of the classic Beatles songs on it. You got She Loves You, Let It Be, Day Tripper. A lot of the songs that you think of when you think of the Beatles, it's on here. Of course, since this is a compilation album of their number one hits, it's gonna not include a whole lot of songs. I mean, it includes a lot of songs, but there are some songs that you probably think of the Beatles, but they're not on here. There are some songs like I Am the Walrus, A Little Help from My Friends, Fool on the Hill. There's songs like that, they're not on the album, but you think of when you think of the Beatles. Now, I get that they were trying to go for number one hits, but it would have been nice to include some of those other songs. However, like I said, this is a very solid introduction to the Beatles, and it was my first introduction to the Beatles when I got the album from my aunt in like 4th or 5th grade. It is enjoyable, so I'll give this album 4 out of 5 stars. I can't give it the full 5 just because I felt there was something a tad missing, though I really did like it. It was a good album. I liked it. Next week, we will be looking at Pink Floyd's classic album, The Wall. Anyway, that's about all we have time for this week on Rockin Reviews. I hope you have a good one, and keep rockin'.